Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Today I'm going to be explaining to you how to get your vocals to sound clear and transparent in your mix. And this video is actually suggested to me by one of my subscribers, so kudos to you, my boy. You should already know who you are. Anyways, the first thing that I wanted to go over is makeup gain on the compressor. Now, if you don't know what makeup gain is, it's a tool inside our compressors that allows us to bring up the compressed audio signals gain. So it'll make our vocals sound just like how they were before they got compressed, only now it's actually compressed. Everything is just balanced out and everything just sounds a little bit better. The main thing to do here is to try to get your makeup gain to sound almost as loud as it did before you started compression, as close as you can get it to how it sounded as far as loudness wise before compression. Try to strive for that, because that's what's gonna help your vocals sound a lot clearer and prevent the instrumentals from overpowering your vocals, which is the last thing that you want. The next thing I wanted to talk about is coming over here and adjusting the fader for your beat. So in some situations, you may have a specific beat or you may have an instrumental track that it just doesn't matter how much you turn up the makeup gain before in the compressor, it still sounds like your vocals are being drowned out by the instrumental track. So let me show you an example of that really quick. Now the goal here is to get our instrumental track to sit nicely behind our vocals, but what we don't want to do here is turn our beat down too much to the point where it sounds like our song is just vocals and barely any beat, because it'll take a lot away from the emotion of the song, which is the last thing that you want to do. So you want to make sure you find that nice fine balance, which can be very hard for some people in certain situations. So I'm just gonna bring this knob, this fader right here down, and give you an idea of how you should be going about this.
Losing, baby, I don't know what that means. I just wanna know I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams. How I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams, yeah. How I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams. Vision outside, those feelings. Grew up in a city, was surrounded by some bad things. I don't wanna say that I was one and never had things. But now I live in existential crisis, having bad dreams.
So you see, I had to turn the fader for the beat track down by like 45%, which is absolutely insane. This beat is like ridiculously loud for no reason. And if you don't do this step right, it's going to be really hard for you to get your vocals to sit on top of the beat. So the next method I wanted to go over with you all for getting your vocals to sound clear in the mix is vocal ducking. Now, this is an additional step to turning your beat down in the fader. Now, the goal here for this method is to clear any clashing frequencies between our instrumental and the vocals. And what this will do is help our vocals sit in the mix a whole lot better and just sound a lot more transparent to the audience of who's listening to your song. So I've talked about this method before, the vocal ducking method. How we're going to set this up, the first thing that we need to do is create an entirely separate copy of our vocals. And how we're going to do that, all you want to do is come over here to this box right here. If we're in the FL Studio, come over to this box and make sure we have all that selected. Now, when we do this, we want to make sure that we have all of our special effect plugins muted, because whatever effect that we have on will also pop up through the signal, which is not what we want. Only plugins that we need on are the compressors and the frequency adjustment plugins. So in that case, it'll just be the equalizers, the compressors, and the de-essers. So everything else you can turn off. Once you have all those plugins turned off on your background vocal bus and on your master track, if there's any on your master track, what you need to do is come over here and render that. How I render that in FL Studio, Command Option C, sorry. It's Command Option C, press start, and it'll render out a consolidated copy of all of your vocals. And it'll look like this up here. What you want to do after that, click this and place it in its own insert. In this case, I placed it inside of insert 34. Then we want to come over here to the mixer, open up the mixer, scroll down here, rename insert 34 signal. In this case, I named it Siggy and I colored it so I could distinguish between that one and the other ones. Next thing that we need to do, select that, come over here to the beat, track, and we want to side chain to this track only. Hit that. Now that we've done that, what you want to do is open up Soothe 2 if you have Soothe 2. Now, if you don't have Soothe 2 or know what Soothe 2 is, it's a dynamic resonance suppressor. It's a very cool, very technical plugin. So what this plugin is doing is detecting each specific sound wave inside of your voice, is finding any resonance inside of that sound wave, and is suppressing that down. So it's kind of similar to like a compressor, and the ultimate result is a lot smoother sounding of an audio signal, which is really nice. A lot of people use it for many different situations. If you may have like a muffly vocal, or like a vocal that may have been messed up or distorted a little bit, a lot of people like using Soothe 2 for that. It can be used for so many different things though, but in this case I'm gonna use it to duck the instrument behind my voice. So to help you understand what we're doing a little bit better, we just created an entirely separate copy of our vocals, which is now our signal. We're now sending this to Soothe 2, which is placed on our beat track, right? What this is gonna do is tell Soothe 2 to start processing on our vocals or the sidechain, but it's only going to be processing on the actual instrumental instead of our vocals. The end result is Soothe 2 creating a frequency mode inside of the instrumental, which will give our vocals the perception that they are clear in the mix. But anyways, now that I've explained that to you, let me come over here and finish setting up the sidechain in Soothe 2. All we need to do to set up the sidechain in Soothe 2 is pretty simple. Come over here, boom. We want to go to processing, sidechain input, SIGI is 34. That's insert 34 or signal, the signal track that we just set up. Last thing to do is come over here and make the adjustments, hit this sidechain button, make the proper adjustments. You want to make sure that you have this set to where it's getting the entire frequency spectrum, so you can make sure that you're picking up all the frequencies over here, so Soothe 2 can process on all these frequencies. And turn down the depth to the negatives, adjust the sharpness, selectivity, and let me show you how it sounds with Soothe 2. It's actually pretty cool.
Grew up in a city, was surrounded by some bad things. I don't wanna say that I was one and never had things, but now I live in existential crisis, having bad dreams. Now I'm giving shoddy black jeans, I'm a black jean. Losing baby, I don't know what that means. I just wanna know I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams. How I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams, yeah. How I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams. Vision outside, those feelings I caught. Grew up in a city, was surrounded by some bad things. I don't wanna say that I was one and never had things, but now I live in existential crisis, having bad dreams. Now I'm giving shoddy black jeans, I'm a black jean. Losing baby, I don't know what that means. I just wanna know I'm supposed to escape from these bad dreams.
Now, if you don't have the $200 to spend on Soothe 2, don't worry. There's also another method you can use. You can do the exact same thing with the whole setup with the sidechain and the signal, but only use Fruity Limiter instead. What you're gonna do in Fruity Limiter, pretty much the exact same thing, except we're going to be using a compressor instead of the suppressor with Soothe 2. You want to hit sidechain right here, SIGI, and adjust your attack, release, and ratio to the point where it's not taking too much of the instrumental away, and to the point where it sounds natural. And it's literally going to do the exact same thing. Adjust it to the point where the threshold, to the point where your instrumentals are getting properly ducked behind your vocals and it sounds natural. But all right, everyone, those are a few quick methods that you can use for getting your vocals to just sound a lot more transparent and clear in your mix. Now, if you're a beginner wondering how to mix your vocals inside FL Studio with stock plugins, make sure you hit the link in my description so I can give you a detailed step-by-step guide on how to do just that, and I can guarantee it'll 5 times the speed in which you progress. But all right, everyone, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. If you did, make sure you hit like, make sure to hit subscribe. I'll catch you all in the next one.